Hi everyone. Let me share this. Okay, hi. Hi Rahul. So am I audible? Am I audible, Rahul? Okay. So hello everyone. So today we are going for a few chapter of corporate and economic law for CA and CMA final students. So we are having our topic is going to be SEBI law and regulation. With that we are also going to do SCRA because in some past few attempts I have seen that questions are being asked from this chapter, so we are going to do some important part of this part, SCRA. With that, the Competition Act 2002, the prevention of money laundering, and the micro, small and medium enterprise. So let's get started. So we are going for the SEBI law and regulation first. This is a sequence, and I have recently shared the PDF of some questions in my Telegram channel, so you can access from there. Okay. So yes, I'm going for first my handwritten notes. So let's go for the 2-page number 5, raising finance from the capital market, IPO. Okay, so this question is important, mark it as an important because this is being asked and it was also in scanner. So okay, so what is going to be the eligibility of issuer? There are two types of question. One is like the eligibility of issuer and one is like the eligibility of the company. So first we are going for the eligibility of the issuer now. So an issuer cannot make the public issue, right issue. There are different type of issues now. Achha, let's go back. Let's understand a bit about this type of issue of security market. They are public issue, which is directly done to the public, offer to the public, right issue, bonus issue, I know you have heard these term, and private placement. So in this part we are going for the public issue, and with that private placement, which is done for the preferential allotment, qualified institutional by placements, and institutional placement program and all. Okay. So let's go for it. First part is going to be the eligibility of issuer. What is going to be the eligibility? They cannot access into security market if there are some condition, if they are going under the following condition. Okay, number first is going to be that under the following condition, if the issuer of its promoter, they are talking about the company, okay, if any of the promoter group, director or selling shareholders are departed from accessing the capital market by whom? By the SEBI. So they cannot issue the public issue and the right issue of equity shares or convertible securities. Okay, so this is going to be the very first point. Okay, second, unless the application is made to one or more stock exchange for the approval. Okay, so this is going to be second. It should be approved, it should be sent for approval for more than one stock exchange. Third is going to be for like dematerialization form. Okay, it should enter into the agreement with the depositor for what? The dematerialization form in electronic form. Basically we all know this term. Okay, and let's go for the fourth point, where existing party have either fully paid up or forfeited. Unless they are fully paid up or they are forfeited their shares on call and all, okay, they cannot issue the shares. Okay, so this is the major part, and you have to keep every point because question aaya hai and it's damn important. Okay, let's go for the fifth. Unless firm arrangement of 75% of finance have been made, matlab the issuer should have the fund with him, and that should be at least about 75%, not not less than that. Okay, so what about the remaining 25%? That could be done through public or any other form. Okay, public issue and all. Okay, so they should make that arrangement of fund first. Okay, unless they cannot go for issuing the shares in the market. Okay, so this means excluding the amount raised through the proposed public issue, right issue, existing identifiable और the internal accrual. ठीक है, so this include this, इसमें exclude करना ही चीज़ है, ठीक है, include नहीं करना. 75 of finance should be made first. Okay, so what about the remaining 25%? Here go for the 7th point, guys. The amount raised by the issuer for the general corporate purpose should not exceed 25. ठीक है, ऑफकोर्स अगर 75% ऊपर उनको खुद करना है तो 25 से ऊपर एक्सीड नहीं कर सकते, विच कुड बी लेस देन दैट. ठीक है, बट इट्स गोइंग टू बी मैक्सिमम 25%. ओके, हाँ, before filing of offer document, promoter holding should be in the dematerialization form. And then the 8 point says about the public issue of the equity securities if this issuer of the promoter of the director are willful defaulter. Okay, and this is going to be important, market is important. Issue shall be held for how many minimum days? Minimum is going to be for 3 days, maximum is going to be for 10 days. MCQ के फॉर्म में आया है ये क्वेश्चन. एंड द 10th पॉइंट इज द मिनिमम सब्सक्रिप्शन शुड बी ऑफ 90% ऑफ द इशू साइज. ठीक है, अगेन MCQ के फॉर्म में आया है, हाउ मच परसेंटेज ऑफ द इशू साइड शुड बी द मिनिमम सब्सक्रिप्शन? 90%. एंड व्हाट इफ फेलिंग इन मिनिमम सब्सक्रिप्शन द एप्लीकेशन मनी हैज़ टू बी रिफंडेड विद इन हाउ मैनी डेज? MCQ के फॉर्म में ये भी आया है, within 15 days of closure of issue. Okay, so that should be refunded. Okay, from whom they have taken. So basically, let me rewind this point because as I told you ये आया हुआ है, so it's important. So what is the eligibility of issuer? Let's coordinate these points. ठीक है, ताकि याद हो जाए. So if a issuer of any of its company, promoter group, director, selling shareholder departed from the capital market, by whom? By the SEBI. First point. Let's correlate this point with some other point. So that is of the point number 8, where the promoter and director will full defaulter. Okay, so keep this in your mind. Then let's go for the second point where they are saying कि it should be approved by more than one security, stock exchange and all. ठीक है. Third, dematerialization form. ठीक है, with this the promoter वाला point also there dematerialization form में, so just relate this point with that. Okay, then was until unless all the share have been forfeited or paid up. ठीक है, they cannot go for issue the equity shares. And with that 75% should the fund arrangement should be made by whom? By the issuer, definitely by the company, and the rest 25 can be done by the public issuer and all. Okay. And minimum days of issue of share 3, maximum is going to be 10. Yes, 90% of the issue share. ठीक है, issue size. So this was the main part. Let's go for the other part. What is merchant banker basically? ठीक है, just read it, it's not that much important. Basically merchant banker is a middleman or intermediate between the company and the public issues. ठीक है, where all the legal documents are done by the merchant banker, which include the marketing, legal compliance, demat consultancy, creating demand for the securities in the market, price discovery and the underwriting. Okay, with that let's go for page number 13, which is important. What are the eligibility criteria for IPO application mandated by the SEBI for the company? Let's go for the regulation 6 subsection 1. ठीक है, where the company should have net tangible asset. Net tangible is asset at least 3 crore. Okay, in how many days they are talking about? ठीक है, this in each 3 preceding previous year. Okay, so this is one of the point, but it should not include the cash and cash equivalent of more than 50%. Okay, among that 3 crore. So this is one point, that in each of the previous 3 year the company should have at least 3 crore net tangible asset, at least 3 crore. Second point says the company should have a net worth of at least 1 crore each 3 previous year. ठीक है, अगेन ऊपर वाला कौन सा था? 3 crore net tangible asset, and second is going to be net worth. Okay, 3 crore, and this is going to be 1 year for each 3 years. previous year. And then the average operating profit among 5 years, 3 should be taken, okay, and it should be at least 15 crore, okay, among 5 you have to take out the profitable years, okay, and among that 3 years it should be at least 15 crore, which is the average operating profit. Hope so this point is also clear to you guys. And the last point is about the 50% of the total revenue should be earned in a previous year where the name is changed, okay, so where the name has been taken, a new name, the company's name, 50% of the total revenue earned in the previous year should have come from the activity performed by the company after assuming its a new name. So this was all about this point. Let's go for the page number 16, which I have made a summary of this, where the regulation 6 subsection 1, this is important again guys, okay, the company should be eligible, company की eligibility they are asking, ठीक है, so net worth, net tangible asset at least 3 crore in each of the last 3 years, average operating profit should be 15, at least 15 crore for the average 3 most profitability year out of last 5, net worth of at least 1 crore in each of the latest 3 years, and if there is change in name, so more than 50% of revenue earned should be earned after change in name, ठीक है, okay, this was regulation 6.1. Now let's go for regulation 6.2 just below, which is written book building. So we have to understand what is book building. Basically it's a price discovery mechanism, okay, and in this point regulation 6.2 which says कि 75% should be allotted to NOTP, okay, at least. And now we have to understand what is this NOTP. Darumat, I am going to tell you. With that, it should be allotted to NOTP, net offer to public, ठीक है, it should be allotted to qualified buyers, ठीक है. So we will understand what is this, but before that let's understand a bit about differential pricing. So basically this is the price, ठीक है, when a price category is offered share at a price different than the other category, the act is called as the differential pricing. So इसमें question MCQ के फॉर्म में आया है, okay, so a company can issue shares at a different price to only 3 categories, namely is the retail, individual, the employee and the book building, okay. So for a retail, how much is going to be the maximum price differential price, okay, allocated? It's going to be 10% of the discount on the price offered. MCQ के फॉर्म में आया है, so please mark it, important. Second is going to for the employees, it's going to be 10% on the floor price can be offered, ठीक है, this is going to be maximum, okay. So what about the book building? The maximum participation of qualified institutional buyer, here the price offered cannot be lower than the price offered to the other applicant. So this was all about the differential price. Let's go for the other part guys. What are the types of investor? There are 2 types of investor. First is individual investor, that is public, right, and second is going to be institutional investor, which include bank, insurance company, mutual fund, right, the AIF, which is alternative investment fund, the VCFC, which is venture capital fund, and these are called qualified buyers or the qualified institutional buyer. So can I say the institutional buyer are indirectly qualified buyers or the qualified institutional buyer, and this may come in form of MCQ, or they can ask that which among them are the qualified institutional buyer or which among them are not qualified institutional buyer, and the options are bank, insurance company, mutual fund and the venture capital fund or public. So definitely public नहीं है इसमें, okay. So this was the qualified institutional buyers, ठीक है. Now what is going to the issue size, ठीक है. Issue size of 100 crore should be allocated to 3 parties, let me say. So first is PC, second is reservation, third is NOTP. Okay, so what is this PC, which how much percentage should be allocated to these parties, ठीक है. PC means the promoter contribution to the issue size is going to be 20%. Then comes the employee under the reservation, employee retail shareholder, which they are small investors and their investment is just up to 2 lakh. That's why we are calling them as a small investors, ठीक है. Okay, so they can contribute up to 0 to 20%, okay, in between they can go for. So what about the last, which is net offer to public, they have to contribute up to 60 to 80%. Majority it's high junior avi, so majority it's coming from here, ठीक है. तो 60 to 80% which are other than the promoters. Okay, so let's go for what are the net offer to public. This was one of the condition, remember, as per regulation 6 subsection 2, which says the 75% should be allocated to NOTP, should be allocated to whom? The qualified institutional buyers. Okay, so this was all about this point, and let's go for what is NOTP. 60 to 80% is allocated to whom? High avi. Okay, so high junior avi. Okay, so let's continue. So what is this net offer to public, which where 60 to 80% is contributed? So among what are the people which is going to be included in the net offer to public? Definitely first is going to be the qualified institutional buyer or qualified buyers, and they are bank, mutual fund, AIF, BCFC and all, or the insurance company. And what about the other two parties? The other is first among them is going to be the second among them is going to be non-institutional buyer, and it consists of high net worth individual or the corporates. These people can also contribute toward the issue size. Okay, and what about the other? Are we also going to include retail individual investor? Yes, we are also going to include them, and then the small investor, as we have covered them in the reservation among the employee as the retail shareholder. As we all know that these people, these small investors, can invest up to 2 lakh. So why the government have covered them here also? These are the regulations which is given by government, so this is to be followed. So this is what they are saying. First, qualified buyers, okay. Second, the non-institutional investors, and with that the retail individual investor is also going to be covered here among what? NOTP, and they can contribute up to 60 to 80%. Okay, so this was the main point. So these people can consist of issue size, okay, and PC, reservation and NOTP. So let's go for the other part, guys, the promoter contribution. Let me tell you that this question was asked in the question paper. So what is going to be the promoter contribution? You have to do the rectification here, guys. Okay, so IOP by the unlisted company should be at least 20% of the post issue capital, where the share capital after IPO is done. Okay, then again further FPO is done by the listed company. So again at least 15% of the 20% of the proposed or ensuring share of 20% of post issue share should be there. What about the composite issue? Normal issue plus right issue should be at least 20% of the proposed issue or 20% of the post issue capital. And what is going to be the lock-in period, guys? You know what? MCQ के form में भी आया है, question भी है boss, ठीक है? So minimum 3 years of the promoter's contributor, and in excess of IPO should be 1 year. In excess of FPO, no lock-in period is going to be there. Okay. Let's go for the allocation in net offer to public, which is as where the company is going for the book building plus regulation 6 subsection 1. It should be allocated to the retail individual investor. They are the parties. Number first, retail individual investor. Second, the qualified institutional buyer, and third, the non-institutional buyer. First, it should be allocated the allocation in net offer to public. As per the case first, they are going for the retail institutional buyer. It should be at least, the retail institutional buyer should at least do 35% of this. And what about the non-institutional investor? Again, it should be allocated to them 15%. What about the qualified institutional buyer? 50%. Okay, and among that 50%, okay, more than 50%, they can say a qualified institutional buyer, 5% is to be Darag Bros Gaming. Hi, hello ma'am, only I am here. कोई बात नहीं, people will watch this live later on. ठीक है? Okay, so qualified institutional buyer, among this qualified institutional buyer, this should be allocated to 5% of mutual fund. Mutual fund को 5% should be allocated. MCQ के form में आ सकता है. So where the company was following the book building process with the regulation 6 subsection 1. Okay, at least 35% retail institutional investor, ठीक है, then 15% should be non-institutional investor, and third is a qualified institutional investor, the 50% से ज़्यादा, ठीक है, एंड इनमें से क्वालिफाइड इंस्टीट्यूशनल इन्वेस्टर से 5% शुड बी गिवन टू वो म्यूचुअल फंड। एमसीक्यू के फॉर्म में आ सकता है गाइस। ओके, लेट्स गो फॉर द केस 2 वेयर द कंपनी इज गोइंग फॉर बुक बिल्डिंग विद रेगुलेशन 6 subsection 2. Okay, again they are same parties. What is the topic of this class? We are going for SEBI law and regulation. Okay, as per new, and some point will follow the old one also. Okay, and there are so many other topics also, but right now I'm going for SEBI Regulation Act. Okay, so with that, the retail institutional investor, earlier retail institutional investor at least 35% was there, ठीक है, in this case it's 10%, but it should be less than, ठीक है, but what about the non institutional investor? That is same 15%, but it should be less than that. Okay, what about the qualified institutional buyers? 75%, and among this same 5% should be given to whom? To the mutual fund. मतलब allocation should be done by mutual fund. Okay, so you have to keep this percentage in your mind. If the company is going for book building, with regulation 6 subsection 1 पहले वाला केस, and second वाला केस अभी जो अपन ने किया the book building plus regulation 6 subsection 2. Let's go for where the company is not going for book building. Okay, in that case minimum retail individual investor can have 30%, and non-institutional and the qualified institutional buyer are going to contribute the remaining one. Okay, so there is no problem with that. Okay, let's go for now the more important topics, guys. What is insider trader, ठीक है, or insider trading? Who is going to be the insider trader? Okay, which is connected to the company, the person who is connected to the company. But let's understand the meaning of insider trading now. Okay, number first, to understand the insider trading, we have to understand the term what is insider. So insider mean any person who is or who was connected with the company or deemed to have a connection with the company, and who responsibly expect to have access to unpublished price sensitive information. So can I say UPSI? UPSC नहीं, UPSI, ठीक है, question can come in form of you have to tell something about the UPSI, ठीक है. So what is this going to be UPSI or not? Okay, so confuse नहीं हो ना, they are asking about what is this ING, Darabros gaming, ठीक है. So they are asking if the question may come in form of UPSI. So that's unpublished sensitive price, unsensitive price sensitive, what I'm saying, unpublished price sensitive information, sorry. Okay, so number first, insider is going to be who is or have the connection with the company, or who can access the UPSI. Okay, so with that, what is going to happen if that person is going to access that UPSI? Definitely, just a second, let me complete this. Okay, if the person having the to access the UPSI, then they can take, because you know what, the person is sharing the information to some other person. So the security of company, the price of security of company can fluctuate. Okay, which order on book you are following? Actually, I have made my own notes. You can get this note from my Telegram channel. Okay, and I have my Telegram channel link is in my YouTube by description. Okay, so okay, वहाँ से आप डाउनलोड कर लीजिएगा. So this is what about the insider. Okay, now let's understand what can be the price sensitive information. Okay, by if these information are shared to any of the outsider of the company. Okay, so the price of security can affect. Definitely it's going to be decreased. Okay, so what are that information? They are going to be periodical financial statement of the company, result of the company, the merger and amalgamation, the dividend declaration, the interim dividend or the final dividend. Okay, with that the major expansion plan. Okay, and these are the main part. Okay, disposal or the whole or substantial part of undertaking. If the question comes in form of what is insider trading, you have to tell the meaning of insider. ठीक है, with that what is UPSI, ठीक है, you have to give some example, and what is this unpublished price unpublished information. So unpublished means information which is not published by the company or its agent, or not specific in any nature. So this is what they are saying. This is important, guys. There was a question being asked from this topic. Okay, So what is going to be the penalty, again important, ठीक है, in form of MCQ or in form of question, long question. What is going to be the penalty for the insider trading? ठीक है, for the following default, and the insider shall be liable to the penalty which shall not be less than 10 lakh but may be extend up to 25 crore, or the 3 times the amount of profit made out of the insider trading, whichever is higher. So minimum is going to be 10 lakh, which may be extend up to 25 crore, and the thrice of the amount involved in that, okay, which is the profit gain from the insider trading, whichever is higher. So this is the penalty for whom? For the insider trading. Okay, let's go for the other penalty. MCQ के form में questions आए हैं for the non-disclosure of acquisition of share and takeover under section 15H. Okay, where it should not be less than the 10 lakh but maybe extend up to 25 crore UPSI confidential data related to company or its security, if made public, could significantly impact the stock price. So this is what I am saying. This is what I am saying. Okay, so yes, so what is the penalty for non-disclosure of acquisition of share and the takeover? So as I told you, if it is, there are so many different penalties. Okay, it's okay, Dara Bros Gaming, thank you for sharing your information. Okay, as I already discussed, you may be late, you have joined the live class late, okay, so just listen to me. Okay, so for the penalty, it's going to be the minimum 10 lakh and it's going to be extend up to 25 crore and or the 3 times same penalty, let me say, okay. And as per 15H, for the previous question I have seen, this may even come in form of like match or true false or MCQ, you have to choose, okay, what is going to be the penalty for these people. Okay, okay, so let's go for the penalty for fraudulent and unfair trade practices under section 15HA. Unfair trade practices which is not less than 5 lakh. In above case that was 10 lakh, okay, and in this case it's 5 lakh and maybe extend up to 25 crore or 3 times, whichever is higher, which is involving the profit. Okay, this was about this part. Okay, and there's so many other penalties also. If you have, like, if there is not specifically about being asked in the question, like the penalty for the contravention when no separate penalty has been provided, in that case it may not be less than 1 lakh and maybe extend up to 1 crore. So this was the major. Okay, okay guys, so now I'm going to tell you some of the few important questions I have already discussed. You can easily get that in my Telegram channel and this note. Okay, so this question is being asked, and let me tell you and let me clarify one thing, same aspirant, in our module we have no question, or we have not this chapter, I mean SEBI law is new to us, the old one is, it's been replaced by the new one, ठीक है, but वो सिर्फ कहने को है. The question is still in the scanner, which means you have to go for the old one and the new one. So let me read this question first. Okay, and it's important. SEBI received a complaint from some investor alleging that ABC Limited and some brokers are indulging in the price manipulation in the share of ABC Limited. Explain the power that can be exercised by the SEBI under Securities and Exchange Board of India 1992 in case the allegations are found to be correct. So in the given problem, which related to, as we have not read the old SEBI, so I'm just reading this, guys, okay. So just read this. The given problem related to section 11, 12A, 15HA, 15HB, which we have covered the penalty with that. The SEBI Exchange Board of India, price manipulation in the share of ABC Limited can be considered as the fraudulent and unfair trade practices. So yes, price manipulation is going to be counted in that. Okay, yes, which is related to security market. Therefore, under section 11, SEBI is empowered to exercise the following power. And what are this following power? To suspend the trading of any security in which is listed in the recognized stock exchange. With that, to restrain the person who is accessing the security market and prohibit any person who is associated with the security market. So these are the other power. Let me read this, let me complete this question. I'll come to you later. ठीक है. So okay, as per section 15 HB, SEBI may impose penalty up to 1 crore or any person who fails to comply with the provision of the act for which no separate penalty has been provided as per section 12. No person shall directly or indirectly use your employee in connection with issue, purchase of share of any security listed or proposed to be listed in recognized stock exchange, any manipulative or descriptive device or the contravence in the contravention of the provision of this act or the rule of the regulation made thereunder. Okay, with that employ any device, scheme or artificial default in connection with the issue or dealing in the security which are listed or proposed to be listed on the recognized stock exchange, or engage in any act, practices, course of business which operate as fraud or descent upon any person in connection with issuing, dealing in security which are listed or proposed to be listed on recognized stock exchange in contravention of the provision of this act or the rule of the regulation made there under. Okay, so these are the main point. With that you have to mention the penalty. Penalty कितना था? 10 लाख से 25 करोड़. ठीक है, or the 3 times of amount which was the profit involved from this insider trading. ठीक है, in the given case, let's go for the last two lines. In the given case, ABC Limited and the brokers who indulge in price manipulation in the stage of ABC Limited are liable for how much penalty? For the 25 crore maximum, right? Or 3 times amount of the profit made out of it. Okay, so this was the important point. Okay, so what were you writing? Okay, there are broke gaming. Ma'am, I think this is not a very good way that you are teaching. You can make PPT. Oh my god, dear, we have no this much time. ठीक है, and if you want to make the video, you can make, है ना? I have no this much time right now. And again you are saying on smart board. हाँ, I can consider it on future. मैम इतना याद रखेगा क्या? मुझे तो नहीं होता बेटा. CA/CMA में याद रखना पड़ता है ना. आप गलत जगह आए, आप यहाँ से जा सकते हो. ठीक है. Any trick or मैम we can prepare for only MCQ. आप सिर्फ MCQ करोगे जो कि 30 मार्क्स का फेल हो जाओगे. You have to go for everything guys, है ना. मजाक मत करो. I am not going to entertain you. Sorry. Okay, let's go for the other point. Failure to pay penalty under section 24. Consequences of failure to pay penalty or comply with the direction. ठीक है, if a person fails to pay the penalty imposed by the educating authority or a SEBI or fails to comply with any direction or order, he shall punishable with imprisonment of a term which shall not be less than 1 month and which is going to expend up to the 10 year, and the fine is going to impose up to 25 crore or both of them. ठीक है, तो minimum 1 month, maximum 10 years with that 25 crore rupees fine, and with that or both. Hi Pranay. ठीक है, so what is going to be consequences? Same imprisonment, ठीक है, with fine or both of them. Okay, let's go for the composition of the certain offences under section 24A. That is compoundable offences which is punishable with fine, offence which is punishable with fine or imprisonment or both. As can be seen, following offences cannot be compounded. Offences punishable with imprisonment, offences punishable with imprisonment and fine. These are the things. बस एक बार याद रखो. This is not that much. This section is not that much important. बस एक बार रीडिंग लगा लो. ठीक है, सुन भी लोगे तो that is enough. Okay, let's go for the recovery of amount 28A. Yes, market important क्योंकि मैंने कहीं ये क्वेश्चन देखा है इससे रिलेटेड. ठीक है, एक बार रीडिंग में लगा लोगे. I'm saying again, तो भी इनफ है. ओके, इफ अ पर्सन फेल्स टू पे द पेनल्टी इम्पोज अंडर दिस एक्ट, ओके, टू कंप्लाई विद द डायरेक्शन ऑफ सेबी फॉर रिफंड और मनी, और फेल्स टू कंप्लाई विद द डायरेक्शन ऑफ द डिसगॉर्जमेंट ऑर्डर इशूड बाय द इशूड अंडर सेक्शन 11B. देखो गाइस, लिसन टू मी. ठीक है, अगर आपको नहीं पढ़ना तो प्लीज़ आप मत पढ़ो. मेरा भी टाइम वेस्ट मत करो, आप दूसरों का भी टाइम वेस्ट मत करो, है ना. दारा ब्रोस गेमिंग जो भी हैं आप, क्योंकि आपकी वजह से बाकी बच्चे सफ़र कर रहे हैं. ओके, आई कैन नॉट रीड योर कमेंट अगेन, है ना. फालतू चीज़ कमेंट मत करना. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू एंटरटेन यू. ओके, लेट मी कंटिन्यू. When a person fails to pay the penalty imposition under this act or fails to comply with the direction of SEBI or for a refund of monies or fail to comply with the direction of the governor this disgorgement order issued under section 11B or fails to pay any fees due to SEBI, the recovery officer may draw upon under his signature a statement in the specified form specifying the amount due from the person, okay, where that person cannot pay the amount, that person cannot pay the penalty. So whether from his immovable property or from his movable property or from somebody else, some other related person property, the imposition, the penalty can be taken or can be recovered, we are going to find out. Yes, the attachment and the sale of a person movable property can be taken. Yes, the attachment and the sale of the person movable and immovable, 2 points are covered. Okay, with that attachment of a person bank account, okay, arrest of person and his detention in prison, with that appointing a receiver for the management of a person movable and immovable properties. Okay, and but for this, recovery officer shall empower to seek the assistance of the local district administration while exercising his power. So pehle you have to take the permission, okay, have to seek the assistance from whom? From the local district administration. Okay, so this point you have to keep in your mind, and there is a question from this section 28A. okay, you have to go for this section. Same cheez hai, attachment of movable, immovable, to take that person to the imprison and all ye sari cheeze. Okay, you have to keep this in your mind. So what are you writing? Okay ma'am, just I am only trying to understand this. I don't know about this exam and benefit, so I'm asking, sorry for disturbance. Yes, you are actually disturbing us. This is not the time, I cannot entertain you. I'm teaching here and there are so many other students who is going to watch this live lecture later on. So please, if you don't know, if you just come here to entertain some other person, you just leave it, है ना? It's better to leave this place. Okay, let's go for some other point, which is restriction on communication and trading by the insider. Yes, again market is important because no insider should communicate, procure, provide or allow access to the UPSI here. Okay, or exception is there that where the communication is in the furtherance of legitimate purpose, okay, and that should be highlighted here. Second, due notice shall be given to whom? To the insider. Third, the unpublished price sensitive information may be communicated, procured, provided, allowed access to the procured in connection with the transaction that would entail an obligation to make an open offer or the board of directors. Last, fourth point, let's go for this. The organization shall ensure that the structured digital database containing the nature of unpublished price sensitive information to maintain internally with adequate internal control and preserve for how many days? Guys, MCQ की form में आ सकता है, not less than 8 years. So the company cannot do anything, they have to keep this thing with them for the 8 years for investigation purpose. Okay, that could be asked for the investigation purpose. No insider shall trade in the securities that are listed or proposed to be listed on the stock exchange when is possession of the UPSI, the insider may prove his innocence by the few defenses. And the last, in case of connected person, the onus of the establishing that they were not in possession of the UPSI shall be on such connected person as the simple baat. Okay, so you have to just keep this point in mind. Okay, let's go for the other point. I'm not going for the fair disclosure. Okay, आप एक बार इसको read कर लेना topic. ठीक है, that's it. Let's go for the other important point, which is code of conduct, and ये question आया भी है. What is going to be the code of conduct? Because these part are related to the insider trading, है ना? So definitely we have to keep some point, keep some code of conduct that this should not be done, है ना? Strict rules होना चाहिए, है ना? And the management को continue directions देने चाहिए employees को, है ना? And if something is happening, strict action should be taken, penalty should be imposed. Okay, so let's go for some points. ठीक है, some highlighted points I'm going to cover. The chief executive officer or a managing director shall formulate a code of conduct to regulate, to monitor and then report the trading if something is going to happen. ठीक है, by whom? By the designated person and immediate the relative of the designated person toward achieving the compliance with these regulation. Okay, and with this let's go for the only highlighted points, guys. The compliance officer shall report the BOD and its particular shall provide the report to the audit committee. With that, the designated person and immediate relative shall be given the internal code of conduct governing the dealing in security. Okay, so what if there is going to be some time limit which is 48 hours after the information become generally available. It should also be kept in your mind, guys. Okay, with that, the code of conduct shall specify any reasonable time frame which in any event shall not be more than 7 trading days. Okay, this was all about this part. With this, the another important topic is going to be the institutional mechanism for prevention of insider trading. So who is going to be the institutional mechanism here? They are all regulatory bodies, so होते हैं ना, we know, but in this case who can be? Board of director, audit committee, or any the senior, the CEO and all. ठीक है, so let's understand, because ये दो point तो यहाँ पे cover है. What are you written, Arvind Chaudhary? There are they no given from about money more condition formed together after viewing they continue from the topic problem not good. Actually, I'm not able to understand what you have written. The money more condition from together after viewing they continue from their topic problem not good. Sorry, I'm unable to understand what you have written, Arvind. Can you please write it again? Huh? Okay, let's go for the role of managing director and CEO here. ठीक है, so these are the institutional mechanism, guys. ये question आया है, so market is important. The managing director and the chief executive officer of the company shall put in a place adequate and effective system of internal control to ensure the compliance with the requirement given the said regulations to prevent actually insider trading. And with that, all employees have to who has the access to UPSI are identified as designated employee here. With that, or UPSI shall be identified and its confidentiality shall be maintained as per the regulation, and adequate restriction should be imposed there. Okay. List of employees and other person who have access to UPSI shall definitely maintain the confidential information within them, and notice shall be served to all of the employees. Okay, and periodic process review should be done. ठीक है, this means the internal control should be there. Okay, what is going to be the role of directors here? Definitely role of directors के काम होंगे यहाँ पे, है ना. The BOD, chairman, managing director and the CEO that ensure that the structured digital database is maintained containing the name of that such person who have the access, or entities as the case may be with whom unpublished price sensitive information is shared along with the permanent account number or any other identifier authorized by the law. Okay, so let's go for the role of audit committee. The audit committee shall review compliance with the provision of the regulations at least once in a financial year. Yes, which is about the adequate of the internal control of the management and the company, and what is going to be the duties and responsibility in case of leak of information, leak of UPSI. The company shall formulate written policies and the procedure for inquiry in case of leak of UPSI or suspect leak of UPSI, which will be approved by Board of Director, Chairman, Managing Director, CEO of the company. Accordingly, initiate appropriate inquiries on become aware of the leak unpublished price sensitive information or suspend leak of unpublished sensitive information and inform SEBI promptly on such leak inquiries. ठीक है, तो strictly action यहाँ पे लिया जाएगा. Company shall have a whistleblower policies and make employee aware of such policies. And lastly, they have to inform the intermediaries and the fiduciary that cooperate with the company in connection with such inquiry. So this is the main point, guys. ठीक है, आपको इसको रट्टाफिकेशन मानना पड़ेगा. I'm sorry, क्योंकि इसमें ऐसा कुछ explain करने के लिए नहीं था. There are some point which you have to keep. हाँ, I can say कि role of these are the institutional mechanism where you can yes, I am agree with you, same bro. What are you saying? Yeah, sorry, मैंने पढ़ा नहीं. Arvind is saying where are they no given from about money more condition form together. पता नहीं क्या लिख रहे हैं. CMA Urvish, good work, but try to share screen from which you are actually, you know what, there is a problem. I really don't know about the live class. I'm teaching this class by using two devices and I really don't know how to connect them. Okay, one where you are seeing me, that's my mobile phone, and the one where I am reading, that's my tab, and you can access all the material in my Telegram channel. Okay, and this is the last minute revision lecture, and it is done on base of student request. So that's why I have nothing to do with that. Okay, I have only this much, what can I do, है ना? Yes, I agree with you. UPSI could not form confirm to publish after they were not coming to policy to request after viewing their mod, seeing after there is not that connect distraction and teaching to them good. Okay, मेरे को अभी भी समझ में नहीं ठीक है, whatever you are saying, ठीक है, keep saying, ठीक है. Okay, so these are the main institutional mechanism. Okay, Arvind, thank you. Okay, so guys, let me tell you one more point which is important with this SEBI. I'm going to tell you, you have to just open the PDF which I just shared in my Telegram channel, which the topic is going to be, the title of that PDF is going to be question series for lecture 3. So please open that, है ना. So with that few question I'm going to tell you, because it's important, it's been asked in the scanner, so we have to do that also. Okay, so there are the listing of securities is to be done. There are some condition where the listing of securities is to be done. And what are the condition? Under section 21, there is some condition where the company have to follow if they want to get list under the recognized stock exchange. I have no other option for you. You have to open on another phone, है ना, Daro Bros Gaming. I have no other option. This class is actually made on the request of some few students, है ना. So this is what I can do, and this is what I have. So I'm doing it. I'm just teaching it. Okay. Okay, so okay, let's go for the condition for listing of the securities under section 21. Where the securities are listed on the application of a person in recognized stock exchange, such person shall comply with the condition of the listing agreement with that stock exchange. First of all, they have to submit the documents with the SEBI. With that, the declaration and then the terms and condition should be followed with whatever it's given by the SEBI. So these three is to be done. Okay, the documents, the declaration, and with that the terms and condition. Okay, what about the other part? If they have if there is right to appeal against the refusal to list the security. What if the recognized stock exchange do not accept their proposal? They just reject it, है ना? So is there the company can appeal somewhere? Yes. The question can come in form of MCQ. They can go for Securities Appellate Tribunal. Okay, and within how much days? Within 15 days from the communication given by the recognized stock exchange. Okay, so is this time period, time limit can be extended up to more time? Yes, it could be extended up to the 15 days, and it could be extended maximum up to 1 month. Okay, this is all about the 15K guys. Okay, SAT, Security Appellate Tribunal. This may come in form of MCQ. Let's go for other point, where what if the Security Appellate Tribunal order was not in favor of company? Now whether the company can further go for appeal? Yes, they can further go for appeal to where? To the Supreme Court. Within how many days? Again for the 60 days, within 60 days. Okay, further 60 days ka continuation extension mil sakta hai. Okay, this was all about this part, and this is important. And with that there is one more section which is delisting of a security, which is under section 21A. Let's go for it. Where a recognized stock exchange may delist a securities of a company on any ground which is prescribed under. If a company has incurred losses, you have to go for the other page guys. Okay. Okay, where the company has incurred losses for the 3 preceding previous consecutive years, or the negative net worth was with in the company. Okay, well, the company was definitely going through the loss with that negative net worth. Second, the trading in securities of the company has remained suspended for how many years? For it at least suspended of more than 6 years. Yes, or if they were infrequent about the trading, definitely again this is also one of the conditions, that is about the 3 years. Okay, and with that, if the promoter of the director have convicted to failure of comply with any of the provision of Act of SEBI, then the amount should not be less than 1 crore, and then the condition then says delist हो सकता है, or the address given by the promoters, directors by the of the company is false, then again delist हो सकता है. Then the last, shareholding of a company held by the public has come below the minimum level application to the company as per the agreement, the listing agreement under this act. So these are the points which you have to keep. ठीक है. Oh sorry, I have not seen what you have, your discussion from this question about not merged to institution section from the company. After not there, some of the production from the dictionary, a person to agreement about their condition reply. Can you please comment in my, अगर मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा आप क्या पूछ रहे हो सच्ची में. From their question about not merge to institute section from the company, after not there is some of production from dictionary person to agreement about the condition. Can you please message in my telegram channel, है ना. मुझे सीरियसली समझ में नहीं आ रहा आपका क्वेश्चन. बाय माई PW क्लास इज़ लाइव, थैंक्स फॉर योर एफर्ट्स मैम. इतना सीरियस होके ऑनलाइन कोई नहीं पढ़ाता. सॉरी दरा ब्रो गेमिंग, बिकॉज आई हैव नो टाइम टू एंटरटेन यू. यू कैन लीव दिस प्लेस, है ना. आई गेस यू आर नॉट फ्रॉम दिस स्ट्रीम, सो यू वोंट अंडरस्टैंड. अरविंद चौधरी रिप्लाई, प्लीज़ मैम, प्लीज़ यू हैव टू जस्ट मैसेज मी पर्सनली ऑन द टेलीग्राम चैनल और इन माई टेलीग्राम चैनल. ठीक है, SSCMA क्लासेस. Tell me channel, you will get my telegram channel link in my bio YouTube. ठीक है. Okay, let's continue guys. Okay, what if delisting वाले condition में can they go for appeal? Yes, again they can go for appeal. The company can go for appeal. To whom? To the SET. Within 15 days, again 15-day का extension can be given. Okay, this was all about this part guys. Let's go for the competition. नहीं, let's go for the scanner, because I'm not going to discuss. I'm going to show you that these questions were asked in form of this. Okay, Arvind, I will surely reply you. ठीक है, because I'm not able to understand what you are asking. Okay. So let's go for SEBI वाला SEBI law and regulation 13.281 from the scanner. Okay guys, I'm going to show you this point was important, that's why I have covered these points, and these are the points of like penalty of insider trading, page number 13.292, ठीक है, which is 15G के under. You have to tell them 25 crore or the 3 times of amount involved, right? Remember? हाँ जी. So you have to keep this in your mind. So with that, there are some of the remedies. Yes, section question December 2016 में एक question आया था. Yes, this is again 2016 syllabus का, but still this is important guys, ठीक है? Which is related to remedies against the SEBI law, SAT वाला question. Okay? Okay. Let's go for the other point, the establishment of, yes, the establishment of the SEBI. ठीक है, this is also important. You just read this part, okay? And with that, let me go for one point, one question I think अपन कर लेते हैं. Which is, yes, let's go for the page number 13.308, question number December 2022. Okay, Security and Exchange Board of India in interest of the trade has amended the bylaw of the ABC Stock Exchange by writing the order specifying the reason therefore order for the amendment of the bylaw of ABC Stock Exchange Limited immediately aggrieved of said order of the SEBI. ABC Stock Exchange Limited seek your advice whether the act of SEBI is tenable, since such amendment was neither published in the official gazette of India nor in the official gazette of the state in which the stock exchange is situated. Okay, so what would be this? Referring to and analyze the relevant provision of the Securities Contract Act, advise the stock exchange. So guys, in this part, let's go for the answer first one by one. Then I'll explain it to you. Okay, as per the provision of the section 10 of the Securities Regulation Act 1956, the SEBI of India may either on request in writing receive it by it or behalf from the governing body of recognized stock exchange or on its own motion, if it is satisfied that after consultation with the governing body of the stock exchange that it is necessary or exhibit so to do, and after recording its reason for doing, make bylaw for all or any of the matters specified in section 9 or amend any bylaw made by such stock exchange under this part. Okay, पता है क्या, I want to mention one more thing about the whether the SEBI can seize that company and from these recognized stock exchange. Either is that going to be possible? Yes, that could be possible. The SEBI have to inform them by the official gadget. Okay, this is another point which they are also talking about. Okay, because they have been mentioned the gadget where they have to mention all of these things in the official gadget. Okay, then only they can go for this. So this question is being about this part. Okay guys, so मैं बताऊँ आपको SEBI में old वाला भी important है और new वाला भी important है. So उसमें I will say कि delist वाला मत छोड़िएगा and listing वाला भी मत छोड़िएगा. It's you just have to just go through. By chance आ गया तो आप क्या करो? Maybe it could come in form of MCQ. What you are going to do? So you just keep these things in your mind. ठीक है? Let's go for the Competition Act 2002. I'll be quick guys. So you know what, there was a question being asked in form of the Competition Commission was replaced. There was one act which was being replaced by Competition Commission, and what was that act? That was the Monopoly and the Restrictive Trade Practices Act. अच्छा, do you know what is meaning of monopoly? अपने economic में कहीं ना कहीं पढ़ा है. Okay, in a monopoly where राज होता है एक पर्सन का, है ना. So one person is ruling in the economy or in the market. Okay, where the demand is definitely the force which is coming from the market by the people, by the consumer, but the prices is ultimately determined by that one person, because you know what, that person is going to sell that product at a very high price because he is the ultimate seller in the market. So this was about the monopoly. So this act was replaced. Okay, which act? The Monopoly and the Restricted Trade Practices Act in 1969 was replaced by the Competition Commission. Take Competition Act 2002. So why this act was there? Okay, so because to bring the fair competition in the market, है ना, to enhance the domestic market. Okay, and with that so many other points are there. Let's discuss. Okay, one more MCQ I have to discuss, that the Magna Carta of Free Enterprise. This is what to uphold the free enterprises. This means the competition law have been called the Magna Carta of the Free Enterprise. Was question in form of MCQ, so mark the important. So with that monopoly, you can easily understand they were the dominant position, that the party who was ruling in the market was having the dominant position in the market. Okay, who was abusing by his power. With that, they also aid the promotion of domestic industry, which I already told you. ठीक है, एक fair competition होना बहुत ज़रूरी है. ठीक है, have you ever seen earlier when we were young or maybe we were not born? ठीक है, so at that time, like let's take our era of mother, father, or a grandmother or grandfather. So at that time, things were not easily available. Okay, maybe during our father and mother's era, they were even सबके कच्चे घर होते थे, या फिर like they were only few who were having a good home or house, we can say, or a bungalow. ठीक है, because at that time there was no loan provided. Later on, loan was accessible by everyone, so you can see कि everybody was having a car, everybody was having a home, everybody can afford mobile phone, everybody can decorate their home with the expensive things and all. So this is what, everything was cheap, है ना, and it was available. But why everything was available? As let's take the example of one toothpaste. Okay, let's take example of Colgate. When the Colgate was introduced, let's say there was only one product, and that was Colgate, that was toothpaste. Okay, so Colgate have determined the price by, let's take 50 rupees for 50 gram. Okay, or like for the 100 grams and all. Okay, so where the price was solely determined by the party Colgate owner. Okay, but once the competitor of the Colgate entered into the market, like the Pepsodent or Dermal and all. Okay, so what is going to happen? The Colgate is going to fear that my customer is going to lose, right? In that case, the Colgate will reduce the price. This is what the earlier it was a case of the monopoly. Now it's the case of perfect competition, where there are other competitors is going to exist in the market, okay, and we'll get the things at the cheaper price. So this is what the government want, ki they want the promotion of the domestic industry in the market. So this was all about this part. Let's continue reading it, okay. This act, page number guys 2, the act seek to prevent the monopoly and also to prevent the unnecessary intervention of the by the government, okay. Earlier अपने को पता है privatization, globalization, liberalization भी नहीं था, so that was also one of the reason. Later it was done for it was affecting, it was positively affecting our economy, and which increases the GDP after that, okay. So it was done to provide the framework for establishment of competition commission. We will understand what are the functions of competition commission. To prevent the monopoly, definitely. To promote the competition, of fair competition. अपन के बीच में भी अगर fair competition है, that's going to give us the positive impact. But what if there is going to be a negative competition? Like if our parents are comparing us with some शर्मा अंकल के बेटे और शर्मा अंकल की बेटी, so what is going to be happen? ठीक है, अपन भी उनसे चिढ़ जाएंगे, क्या शर्मा अंकल शर्मा आंटी के बच्चों की बात करते रहते हो मम्मी पापा, ठीक है. तो दिस इज व्हाट if you are giving your child or any other thing the perfect example, your child are also going to learn something, otherwise jealous होता ही है ना. So this is what they are saying, they have to promote the competition, which is fair competition in the market, to protect the freedom of a trade for the participating individual and the entities in the market, and to protect the interest of the consumer. अच्छा, कंज्यूमर का इंटरेस्ट कैसे होगा? बिकॉज कंज्यूमर वांट क्वालिटी, कंज्यूमर शुड गिवन दी बेस्ट थिंग, ठीक है. एंड कंज्यूमर के पास, हर कंज्यूमर के पास इतनी अच्छी परचेजिंग पावर होती है क्या? नहीं होती. सो एवरी पर्सन हैव नो एज मच purchasing power. So in the economy we can see there are different people having a low scale income, having a middle scale income, having a more scale income, okay. The above one are using the highest or the good quality, let's say, but what about the middle and the lower one? They should also get the goods, right? So this is the main purpose of government, that it should protect the interest of the consumer from the lower to middle and to the upper, ठीक है, okay. So let's go for the other point, other page guys. It is a tool, the Competition Act is a tool and enforce competition policy to prevent and punish anti-competition business practices by firm, monopoly, and unnecessary government interference in the market should be removed, okay. So okay, let's go for some of the anti-competitive agreement, which is enterprise, person or association of a enterprise or a person, including cartel. Cartel is basically group of people, okay, shall not enter into agreement in respect of production, supply, distribution, storage, acquisition or a control of a goods or provision of service. I may count this part is going to be important because in a question you have to quote this. Now how you are going to learn this? They are saying production, supply, distribution, storage, acquisition, control of goods और the provision of service. अब मैं याद कराऊँ, ठीक है, which is PSDS, production, supply, distribution, storage, AC, acquisition, control of what? The goods, G, or POS, which is provision of services. Let me remind it again, PSDS, AC, G or POS, ठीक है. So you can learn this, you can use this trick for learning this, ठीक है. Which cause or likely to cause the applicable adverse impact on the competition in India. With a cartel is formed for what? For which is related to production, supply, distribution or of acquisition of goods or services. In that case, that is going to affect negatively on the in the market of the competition, and such agreement would consequently be considered void. Yes, that if there is any of agreement, ठीक है, which is done by the cartel, some group of people, just not to promote or just to that control that production, distribution of goods and services, in that case that agreement is going to be void, not valid. Yes, such agreement would consequently be considered as a void agreement, which would be considered to have an appreciable adverse impact would be those agreements which directly determine the sale or purchase price, which limit or control production, supply, market, technical development or investment, or the share market or the source of production. Basically they are controlling things, चाहे वो टेक्नोलॉजी से हो, चाहे वो they are restricting the geographical basis में हो, or they have restricting that this person cannot purchase from us. Okay, so this was all about this part. Let's go for the anti-competitive commission agreement के types, horizontal and vertical. So what about the horizontal? Where the horizontal agreement are presumed to be appreciable adverse effect on competition if they are directly or indirectly determine price, same thing, they are saying the same thing, ठीक है, or the limit or control output or share or divide the market on geographically, ठीक है, indulge in bid reading or the collusion bidding, ठीक है. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द टाइप्स, ठीक है. इससे ज़्यादा मैं आपको बताऊंगी वर्टिकल एंटी एग्रीमेंट कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्रीमेंट से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस आए हैं. सो लेट्स गो फॉर दैट. व्हाट इज वर्टिकल, ठीक है, वेयर द एग्रीमेंट इज बिटवीन टू और मोर कंपनीज ईच ऑफ विच ऑपरेट एट अ डिफरेंट लेवल ऑफ प्रोडक्शन डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चेन एंड रिलेटेड टू कंडीशन विद द पार्टीज में परचेज सेल और रिफ्यूजल टू सेल. सो they are some of the types which are tie-in agreement, exclusive supply agreement, exclusive distribution agreement, refusal to deal and refusal resale price method. As the name says, we can easily understand what is tie-in agreement. tie मतलब क्या होता है, ऐसा बांधना, ये वाला tie नहीं, okay. So बांधने को बोलते हैं tie, where any of a person have restrained, or we can say have tied that person if you can only purchase things from us. Okay, so this is what they are saying, you tie karna. Like if any of a person is going to purchase the refrigerator, okay, and that seller is saying that we are only going to give you the refrigerator, you have to purchase stabilizer for this refrigerator, otherwise you cannot go with this refrigerator. Okay, this is what that is, you are going to tie that the customer, ठीक है, कि आपको हमसे ही लेना पड़ेगा और ये चीज़ ही लेना पड़ेगा. ओके, यू आर नॉट acting as per the customer's choice, so this should not be done. This is what tie-in agreement. Let's go for the exclusive supply agreement, where again restricting the purchase in course of trade from acquiring the goods of any other seller. ठीक है, मुझसे ही खरीदना पड़ेगा, और यू आर रिस्ट्रिक्टिंग सम अदर सेलर कि यू वोंट allow these people or you won't give goods to these people or at these area. Okay, so this is what exclusive supply agreement. Let's go for the exclusive distribution. Same thing, distribution की बात कर रहे हैं. Refusal to deal, restricting by any method or any person, class of person to whom goods are sold, and resale price mechanism where selling goods with the condition to resale stipulated prices. Okay, let's go for the silent features. Same वही है, same चीज़ है, बात वही बोल रही है ये, which is prohibiting the anti-competitive agreement, prohibition of the abuse of dominance, regulation of combination, where the central government thought in interest of what, public interest, ठीक है, establishment of the competition commission and power of the functions. Okay, what are the competition commission composition? They should be at least 2 member and maximum 6 member. Okay, with that they should have the qualification, knowledge which is related to law, commerce and all, ठीक है, which is simple, same, हर चीज़ हर जगह यही बात करते हैं. Okay, so with that competition commission, let's go for the page number 8 guys, which is saying the same thing. Healthy competition होना चाहिए, prohibited the agreement or practices that is likely to affect the market adversely, and which prohibited the abuse use of dominance in the market, or prohibited the acquisition, merger and amalgamation between the entities which are likely to have adverse effect on the market. ठीक है, so these are the things which competition commission do. They prohibited this thing. Okay, they won't allow these people to come together or to form the cartel, which is group of people. Okay, competition commission of India member composition, as I say, minimum should be 2 and maximum should be 6, and with that they should have the yes, there was a question being asked. Okay, in this part they are saying the eligibility of commission is going to be there, where the member should not be the experience, the members experience should not be less than 15 years in the international trade, economic, business, commerce, law, finance, accountancy, management, industry, public affair and the administration, or any other matter which is specified by central government. Okay, so what if the question was this, what if they should have at least 15 years, they should not be less than 15 years, which means 15 years का experience मांगता है. Okay, what if the order was passed by the directors or the employees or the person who is having the power, okay, and that person was having only 12 years of experience, so the order passed by the competition commission is going to be void in that case, or it's not going to be affect, or it's going to affect. What is going to be the answer? In this case, the order passed by competition commission will be valid, because there were so many other members also na, है ना, so it is not going to be invalid here. ठीक है, there was a question being asked. ठीक है, so you have to keep in your mind. Okay, with that, what are the competition commission challenges? Yes, please note this, that the continuous change in way of business are undertaken and the evolving antitrust issue is provided to be significant challenge by the CCI. ठीक है, and with that the digital economy, because there are so many updated technology introduced, for the old people, like those who are going to retire, they have a difficult in adapting of these technologies. Okay, and with that, number of the benches of CCI has to be increased to pronounce the judgment more speedy, because there are only few people, as we know, the 2 members is going to be minimum and maximum is going to be 6, so it should be the members, or you can say the benches should be more, so that the speedy judgment can be passed. Okay, with that, what is going to be review of order of commission? Can a person who have been, the order passed by commission was not satisfied, the company was not satisfied, or the group of people, or the people, anyone was not satisfied by their orders, can they go for appeal? Yes, they can go for the appeal, to whom any person aggrieved by the order of commission can apply to commission or review of its order within how many days? Within 30 days from the date of order. Okay, commission may entertain or review application after the expiry of 30 days, an opportunity of being heard is given. Okay, so what if again the person was not satisfied, the order was not in his favor, so can he go further again? Yes, he can go for appeal again, to whom? To the Supreme Court. Okay, within how many days? Within 60 days. MCQ. Okay, yes. Okay, let's go for the penalty. Minimum is going to be 1 lakh, maximum is going to be 10 crore, and it's going to be extend 1 lakh each day if it's going to be continuing. Okay, with that, extend up to 3 years. Penalty भी 25 करोड़ तक जा सकता है, और both. Okay, so with that guys, let's go for some of the regulation of merger and amalgamation. Okay, where the value of asset being, page number मैं बता देती हूँ, it's going to be 11. Value of the asset being acquired, taken control of a merger, amalgamated, it's not more than to 450 crore. So far as I know, it's going to be 4500 crore. I am not sure about it. ठीक है, एक बार अपन, क्योंकि स्कैनर में क्वेश्चन है which is saying about 4500 crore, and the turnover should not be more than 1250 crore in India for this, which is simply saying the threshold value of asset and turnover mentioned of the section of Competition Act relating to combination and threshold allow the exemption from notifying based on the asset and turnover of the target is. ठीक है. Okay, so let's go for the now scanner guys. ठीक है, I'm going to tell you the important one, because I've seen a few questions which I already told कि 12 year वाला experience हो तो क्या होगा answer. ठीक है, yes, let's go for it now. Again guys, okay, let's go for page number 13.315. There is question being asked, XYZ Limited, December 2015, XYZ Limited made an initial public offer of a certain number of equity shares. Examine whether these shares can be considered as goods under the Competition Commission Act, Competition Act 2002. So whether we have to identify first the goods are going to be considered or here or not. As per the Competition Act 2002 define goods as follows. Good means the goods which is defined in Sale of Goods Exchange, Goods Act 1930, which is produced, manufactured, processed or mined. Can I say PMPM, which is produced, manufactured, processed, mine? You have to write it down. ठीक है, PMPM. With that, debenture, stock, shares, debenture, stocks, and the shares which are after allotment, that is going to be considered as goods. And in relation to goods supplied, distribution and control in India goods imported into India. Hence, the debenture and share can be considered as a goods within the meaning of 2I of Competition Act 2002 only after allotment, not before allotment. Okay, so if it is done after allotment, for surely it's going to be including the definition of goods. Okay, what about the another point I want to discuss, the arrangement. Okay, if the arrangement was done between the Gatal, okay, group of people, and it was done oral, not the written one, there was no written agreement, so whether it's going to be enforceable, yes, whether the agreement was in oral or the in written form, it's going to be enforceable. Okay, so whether, for example, yes, prohibition करने के लिए बात करें, ठीक है, exclusive distribution करने की बात की है, तो again it's going to be legal. Okay, because whether they go for the oral agreement or the written agreement, they would form that. ठीक है, so MCQ की form में आया हुआ है ये. Okay, let's go for the other point, guys. You have to go for other points because बाकी सब तो बहुत easy है. I'm going for one question and the question is Mr. Zupi appointed as a member. Yes, this was the question. हाँ, Mr. Zupi was appointed as a member of the Competition Commission of India by the central government. He has professional experience in the international business for a period of 12 years, which is not a proper qualification for the appointment of person as a member. Pointing out this defect in the Constitution of Commission, Mr. PK, against whom the Commission gave a direction, wants to invalidate the proceeding of the Commission examined with reference to the provision of the Competition Act. So whether PK will succeed or not. So as per section 15, we know the Competition Act or any act of a proceeding of a commission shall not be invalidated merely on the ground of vacancy or any defect in the constitution of commission or any defect in the appointment of any person acting as a chairperson, as a member, or any irregularity in the procedure of the commission not affecting the merit of the case. So here in the case, Mr. Zupi should have professional qualification of not less than the 15 years as per section 8 of Act, but this qualification will not invalidate the proceeding of the commission. So you have to mention this point. With that, I'm going for one more question. Page number 13.322, as per December 2024 scanner, I'm having that. So December 2016, Bombay Textile Limited and the Gujarat Textile Limited marketing their products in India proposed to be amalgamated. The enterprise created as a result of said amalgamation will have the asset of value of 300 crore. Again, the value of 300 crore and turnover of 1000 crore. रिमेंबर मैंने क्या बताया था, 4500 बताया था एंड 12 आई गेस 1250 बताया था, राइट. सो लेट्स गो फॉर एज पर द स्कैनर. ठीक है, बिकॉज दिस मे बी अपडेटेड, राइट. Examine whether the proposed amalgamation attract the provision of the competition. Yes, as per section 5 deals with the combination exercise and the person. The amalgamation of an enterprise shall be combination of such enterprise if enterprise created as a result of amalgamation, as the case may be either in India and the asset of the value were more than 1500 crore or turnover of more than 4500 crore. So you have to note this. Okay, so asset value should be more than 1500 crore and the turnover should be more than 4500 crore. Yes, so here the proposed amalgamation of Bombay Textile Limited and the Gujarat Textile Limited will not affect the provision of the Competition Act, and they have the asset of value of 3 crore and the turnover of 100 crore. Achha, I want to mention one more thing, guys. When I was going through the previous year question paper, like the mock test paper, I guess, so there was some limit, the criteria they was asking about internationally, not only the for India. ठीक है, so you have to read that also. ठीक है, अगर मुझे मिला तो for surely definitely we are going to discuss MCQ later on if we have time, but still I'm saying there was a question being asked. ठीक है, so यहाँ के अलावा भी question पूछ रहे हैं वो लोग. ठीक है, which was in form of MCQ. So don't worry, it's not that difficult, but we have to remember these specific numbers. Okay, that's it. So let's go for the other chapter, which is prevention of money laundering, and I'm going to tell you which type of question were being asked in MCQ or in MCQ form or in the questions or in MTP. Okay, so yes, let's go for the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, which is why this was formed or why this was introduced. Okay, actually this is a process where the black money is converted into white. There are 3 stages placement, integration and layering, where first the black money is introduced in the market. ओके ठीक है, मेरे पास अंधा पैसा है, काला काला धन कमा रही हूँ मैं, ठीक है, अब मुझे उसको वाइट में ट्रांसफ़र करना है. हाउ द पर्सन कैन गो फॉर इट? ओके, लेट मी गिव यू सम ऑफ द एग्जांपल विच कुड बी लाइक एनपीओ, और यू कैन ऑल्सो सी होटल, रेस्टोरेंट. ठीक है, कहीं बार मैंने देखा है कि ऐसे ही रेस्टोरेंट्स बने हुए हैं बट उसमें इतने भीड़ नहीं होते. सो आई यूज टू आस्क, यार ये क्या सीन है, मतलब वाई दे हैव जस्ट ओपन द रेस्टोरेंट एट दिस प्लेस वेयर देर इज़ नो पीपल, एंड दे हैव ओपन लाइक बहुत अच्छा खासा पैसा लगा के, है ना, बहुत कम लोग आते हैं. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द वेयर ब्लैक मनी कुड बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू वाइट. ओके, समझ रहे हो? सो हाउ दे आर डूइंग व्हेन यू आर हैविंग अ ब्लैक मनी, when a person is having that black money, he cannot circulate in the market directly, but indirectly definitely he can. ठीक है, वरना इनकम टैक्स का रेट पड़ जाएगा. पता है ना, रेड मूवी नहीं देखी क्या? हाँ जी, ठीक है, रेड टू भी आ गई है. ओके, so yes, okay, so what was they were talking about? In placement, that black money is introduced. Okay, then second, but in a very small amount, in a very small steps, ठीक है, so that nobody could see it. Okay, with that is second stage where that layering is done. ठीक है, प्लेसमेंट, लेयरिंग एंड इंटीग्रेशन, वेयर द लेयरिंग इज डन, छुपा दिया जाता है, लेयर किया जाता है, लेयर पे लेयर किया जाता है ना. तो दैट इज व्हाट दे आर डूइंग. द पर्सन वो वी कैन से स्मगलर. ठीक है, ओके, दैट पर्सन इज हाइडिंग दैट बाय द लेयर्स. ओके, एंड लास्ट, once that black money is covered, then that person is taking back that black money, and as the money was transferred, now he is a clean person, he is a clean and chit person, and he is taking back a white money from the economy. ठीक है, there are so many different ways, we will see some of the examples. ठीक है, but this is mota moti about this the chapter of prevention of money laundering. ठीक है, this is money laundering and that's why this act was introduced. Okay, question, ठीक है, which is part A, part B and part C. Part A includes some of the offences which are under the Indian Penal Act. नाम बिल्कुल याद रखना है. ठीक है, Indian Penal Act, Prevention of the Corruption Act, Narcotic Drugs, Psychotropic Substance, Antiques or Art Treasure, Trademark or Wildlife Protection Act, Copyright Act and Information Technology Act. So these are the offences which are related to Part A. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन आया था प्रीवियस ईयर में, मैं बता दूँ. ओके, दे वर सेइंग यू हैव टू डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन पार्ट ए, पार्ट बी एंड पार्ट सी. नाउ यू डोंट नो अबाउट पार्ट ए एंड you know what part B is related to part A. So when you don't know about part A, how are you going to distinguish between them, right? So these are the things which is written, these are the offences which are written in part A. Now with that, part B says these all offences, if these offences value is of 1 crore or more, then part B will consist this part. ठीक है, so what about the part C? Part C is of trans-border crime. Okay, now my question to you is, because this was one question from the previous attempt, like one Mr. X, okay, he's a smuggler है बंदा. ठीक है, he was smuggling something, let's take diamond, okay, through ocean. Okay, but what he was doing, as we all know that the trans border is related to part C, trans border crime is related to part C. Okay, and where the government can only initiate when the trans border is done, right? Okay, so the person was transferring the diamonds through the ocean, through the ship. Okay, and unfortunately that person was caught by our custom department officers. Okay, yes, hope so this part is cleared. SFIO is important portion. Yes, Ashwin, that's important, right? There are 2 sections related to that. You have to read them with 11 and 12. Okay, okay, I'll tell you later on. बाकी वैसे पिछले lecture में अपन cover कर चुके हैं वो, so you can go and watch the previous live and it's important. Yes, okay. So yes, where the person was caught by the custom officer, unfortunately, but now the point was this, the government imposed the penalty on him, and penalty is, we will further read on what is going to be the penalty, imprisonment of 3 to 7 years. And if that person is involved in these offences, narcotic drugs, ठीक है, सब्सटेंसेस की बात कर लेते हैं, ठीक है, एंड दीज ऑल वट एवर आई टोल्ड यू, ठीक है, देन दैट imposition is going to be for 10 years. It's going to be extended up to 10 years with fine. Okay, so the government have imposed some fines and imposition on him. So you have to tell me whether the government action is going to be valid or not. Think. The person was caught. He was doing the trans-border crime. But before that crime was committed, he was caught. So here the government was not right. The decision taken by the government is not actually right. So this is not going to be valid because crime होने से पहले पकड़ा गया. समझ रहे हो ना, क्राइम होते होते पकड़ता तो समझ में आता, ठीक है, तब गवर्नमेंट कैन इम्पोज imposition, restriction and the penalty and with that imprisonment and all, but before he was caught, so that is not going to be valid. So this was all about A, B and C part. You have to remember them with the name. So what are the stages of the money laundering? As I told you, placement, layering, integration, steps पूछे गए हैं MCQ form में. Okay, so you have to remember these things. Okay, let's go for some of the placement example. Okay, placement, first step का placement का what is going to be example, like the under invoicing, false invoicing, which could be the over invoicing, duplicate invoice बना दिया भैया, है ना, होता है, कंपनी करती है, जनरेट करती है, right, to show more expenses, right, to show less profit, what are they going to show, है ना, ये this is the main part done by the company. Okay, then blending illegal money with the legitimate money, right, what I told you, वो hotel वाला case. Yes, buying the foreign currency, buying securities, gambling करना, सट्टा करना on what the sports event. Okay, and what about the layering? As I told you, this involve the multiple layers. Okay, and this include the real estate also. Yes, तो layering में real estate याद रख सकते हैं अपन. With that, reselling the high value goods. अच्छा, I will give you one example. Let's take iPhone 16 Pro वाला example. नहीं, iPhone 15 Pro वाला example. Right now, recently I got to know about that iPhone 15 Pro, I guess, है ना, they are not available in the market or any of the website. Why? Because when the Apple are going to launch their new products, like iPhone 17 is going to be on air or on market soon, right? So you know what, the Apple try to, you know, take off the old products, or they don't supply the old products, but only iPhone 15 Pro, है ना. So I was shocked why they are doing, just to increase the supply, ठीक है. And what if I as a person I want iPhone 15, because I know iPhone 15 and iPhone 16 have the same qualities, है ना, there's only one or two some features which is introduced in iPhone 16. Okay, so the person want iPhone 15, which is the person is going to take that in the higher value also. So this is what reselling the high value goods, or you can say some of the famous people like Mahatma Gandhi की चश्मा करोड़ों में बिके, right? So that is what reselling the high value of goods. Okay, so this is what. हाँ, one more कि जैसे कि बहुत बड़े पैसे वाले लोग used to purchase the artwork. Have you seen that? M.F. हुसैन सर के artworks हो गए, बहुत सारे artists के artworks हो गए जो कि बहुत ही महंगे होते हैं. So these are one of the form, okay, where layering is going to be done. So investing in real estate, with that reselling high value goods, transferring funds between the countries, chain hooping, converting one cryptocurrency to the another is what chain hooping means. And last, integration, where that illicit money to themselves in way appear to be clean, बिल्कुल clean person बन के आ जाते हैं वो, ठीक है, हाँ जी. So let's go for the other page number 6 guys of my notes. Okay, punishment of the money laundering. The act, you have to read it because question आया है guys, है ना, as it is लिखना है, as it is, okay, तभी marks मिलेंगे. The act prescribe that any person found guilty of the money laundering shall be punishable with what, the rigorous imprisonment from 3 years to 7 years. ठीक है, अगर मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग में वो पर्सन वॉज इन्वॉल्व, देन द इम्प्रिजनमेंट इज गोइंग टू बी फॉर व्हाट, 3 to 7 years. But what if where the proceed of the crime involved related to offense of para 2 of part A of schedule, offense under the narcotic drugs and the psychotropic substance Act 1985, then the maximum punishment may extend up to 10 years instead of 7. Okay, so this was the main point ki imprisonment was for 3 to 7 year, and that is going to be extend up to 7, sorry, it's going to extend up to 10 year if the person was involved in the offense of the narcotic drugs and the psychotropic substance under 1985. So yes, what about the penalties under PMLA? Same, ठीक है, फाइन भी हो सकता है. Okay, and let's go for the other page, educating authority, page number 7. Under PMLA, the central government has the power to appoint an educating authority to exercise power and authority conferred under the act. Educating authority must consist of a bench of whom the chairman, 2 or other member out of 1 individual must have experience in law, administration, finance or the accountancy field. Okay, an individual is in the field of law can be member of educating authority if he/she has qualification to be appointed as judge or any district. ठीक है गाइस, ये रीड तो करना ही पड़ेगा बिकॉज क्वेश्चन आ सकता है, इसके अलावा कोई ऑप्शन नहीं है. ठीक है, कुछ चीज़ें अपने को रटनी पड़ती है. ठीक है, मुझे पता है आज की क्लास थोड़ी बोरिंग है, बट आई हैव नो अदर ऑप्शन. ओके ओके. Yes, so he has qualification to be appointed as the judge of any district and has been representative member of the Indian Legal Service and has post in grade of this. So this is what, and with that the power, what is going to be the power of educating officer here? They can seize or frozen of, and they can do in writing of attachment, writing in attachment, seize or frozen any of the properties. Okay, yes. Now let's go for another section. I guess this the section is going to be 12. Page number is going to be 8 guys. Take a obligation of bank, financial institution and intermediate to maintain records. Yes, this is important because I have seen the question from this part that the bank have to maintain the documents which is related to party. Okay, the bank have to maintain the record of every transaction, ये तो होता ही है. With that they have to inform the director about the PMLA. ठीक है, the Prevention of Money Laundering Act. Okay, PMLA ये है. Okay, about such transaction which within the time allocation if something is happening. Okay, and with that they have to, the bank have to verify the identity of the client and keep all the record of documents related to identity of clients and the beneficial owner. Beneficial owner, indirectly that person is the ultimate minder, or let's say कि चोर वही है. ठीक है, काम कर वही रहा है लेकिन किसी और से काम करा रहा है. अच्छा, हैव यू हर्ड अबाउट ड्यूरिंग द कोरोना टाइम, आई हैव हर्ड दैट सो मेनी पीपल in that so many people's account, bank account, they got money and they come in like 5,000 and 10,000 rupees. मैंने सुना है, ठीक है, and that was transferred by any unknown person. So this was also done during that time. Demonetization के टाइम पे हुआ था या कोरोना के टाइम पे कुछ हुआ था. I guess demonetization के टाइम पे हुआ था. I'm not sure, but ये चीज़ हुआ था. ठीक है, so this was also done. ठीक है, okay. And which the MCQ form में question है that these recorded of the person should be kept with the bank for minimum 5 years for the inspection and all. Okay, yes. If the director found out that the bank and the financial institution or the intermediary have not kept the record, she can levy fine ranging 10,000 to 1 lakh. Okay, so this is all about this part guys. Okay, so yes, let's go for the appeal to appellate tribunal, that is within 45 days you have to go for that. Okay, and with that 6 month के अंदर dispose of हो जाएगा application. Let's go for the appeal to high court, again 60 days. Okay, from the commencement of decision of the appellate tribunal, and it should not be extension मिल सकता है not more than 60 days. Okay, that's it about this part guys. Let's go for some of the question from the prevention and ये वाला part from the scanner. Okay, as you can see they are the easiest question which we have already discussed, so most of question you can easily relate with them if you have not done or even if you have done. With that let's go for one question which is question let's go for 13.428 guys, page number 13.428, and the question is from December 2022. Yes, Mr. Bowman purchased a flat of a proceed obtained by a illegal transaction. okay, of a business, that the flat was attached by the Director of Enforcement Director after compiling with a procedure under Section 5 of the Prevention Money Laundering Act. Mr. Beeman got a stay from High Court for any proceeding under the said Act. The stay was subsequently vacated. State the relevant provision of PMLA for computing the period of the provision attachment, including the extension, if any. So, in this case, Mr. Beeman purchased a flat of proceed obtained from illegal transaction. The flat was attached by whom? By the Director Enforcement of the Prevention Money Laundering. And in this case, let me discuss the conclusion. Okay, any person is in the possession of the proceed of the crime. Such proceed of the crime is likely to conceal, transfer, or deal with any of the matter which may result in the frustrating any proceeding relating to confiscation of such proceed of crime under this chapter. He may order in writing provisionally attach such property for a period not exceeding 180 days, yes, from the date of order, in such manner as may be prescribed, provided further that any property of any person may be attached under in this section if a director or any other officer not below than the rank of deputy director authorized by him has reason to believe, yes, the reason for such belief to be recording in writing on the basis of material is in the possession, that if such property involved in money laundering is not attached immediately under this chapter, the non-attachment of the property is likely to frustrate the proceeding under this act. So they were the attachment which can be done for 180 days. Again, अगर अपील के लिए जाना है तो कहाँ जा सकते हैं, extension हो सकता है, that is written here. Okay, so let's go for the last chapter, guys, which is the MSME, which is micro, small, medium enterprise. And let me tell you one thing, the plant and machinery, the turnover, asset turnover criteria is quite change here. Okay, okay. So let me start with this. What is going to be the, why the government introduced this? First of all, to help the micro, small, medium enterprises. There's so many small enterprises where the government they want to promote a domestic market, and they are the major part, right? The small, medium, and the micro, small, medium enterprises. So they basically want to promote a healthy competition for sure. Okay? With that, there are so many other industries, like in a rural area. There are so many people. Do you know that from the rural area, most of the people come to the urban, right? For what purpose? They are searching for a job, है ना? And because there is no as such job as per the qualification of a person is much qualified, so the opportunities are less, so they used to migrate from that person, that place to the other place where they can easily get the job, right? So the government try to maintain that. Okay, speak in Hindi. Oh my God, mostly people want to actually सौरभ कुमार, ज़्यादातर लोग चाहते हैं कि हम ना इंग्लिश में बोलें, क्योंकि ज़्यादातर बच्चे ना अलग स्टेट के हैं, इस वजह से ना मैं इंग्लिश में बात कर रही हूँ. ठीक है, मैं क्या करूँ, ठीक है, इस वजह से अपन को ये लेक्चर थोड़ी इंग्लिश में ही लेनी पड़ेगी. ओके, सॉरी फॉर दिस. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, with that, responsibility of NBMSME, I'll say that. So what was the earlier thing, what I was telling you, that the government want to initiate them, they want to promote them. ठीक है, like let's take a khadi or let's take a pottery, है ना? Pottery जिसको बोलते हैं मटका. Okay, so government, ma'am please, मैं क्या करूँ? अच्छा ठीक है, मैं ये वाली क्लास लेती हूँ, बट मैं आपको बता देती हूँ, ज़्यादातर क्या है ना कि जो बच्चे हैं वो अदर स्टेट से हैं एंड दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी, तो इस वजह से मुझे ये क्लास इंग्लिश में लेनी पड़ती है. मैं देयर सो मेनी अदर टीचर्स ऑल्सो स्पीक इन बोथ. अच्छा ठीक है, आई फॉर दिस लेक्चर, ओके, फॉर दिस लेक्चर ओनली मैं दोनों में बात कर सकती हूँ. ठीक है, सो क्या हुआ ना कि अपनी गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ों की प्रमोशन की है, जैसे कि खादी मैंने बोला रिसेंटली, जैसे कि मैं यहाँ पे जाती हूँ एग्जीबिशन में एंड आई हैव सीन दैट द ट्राइबल पीपल को गवर्नमेंट ज़रूर प्रमोट करती है, और लाइक वीमेन एम्पावरमेंट, दे वांट टू हेल्प वीमेन. तो इस वजह से भी, एंड आई हैव ऑल्सो सीन दैट सम पीपल हु आर एंगेज इन दिस फील्ड, आई नो सम few people. So government is actually promoting. I was very eager कि मैं जानना चाहती थी कि actual में जो भी लिखा हुआ है book में होता है नहीं, क्योंकि practically बहुत सारी चीज़ें अलग होती है, right? Hello प्रीति, यस. सो प्रैक्टिकली बहुत सारी चीज़ें ना बहुत डिफरेंट होती है. सो वंस आई यूज टू टॉक टू माई फ्रेंड, सो शी वॉज ऑल्सो लाइक कि हाँ, गवर्नमेंट इज़ एक्चुअली प्रोवाइडिंग एंड हेल्पिंग, गिविंग सो मैनी एड्स टू दी पीपल who are into this thing. ठीक है. So this was one thing. So let's go for the NBMSME, which is the National Board of MSME. ठीक है. What is basically the main role of this board? Definitely the promotion of and development of MSME, right? To review the policies which is made by government, है ना? And with that government को बताना कि आपको अपना फंड कहाँ यूज़ करना है, आपको ये फंड यहाँ नहीं यूज़ करना है, या फिर आप ये फंड यहाँ यूज़ कर सकते हो. इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के साथ साथ और भी चीज़ों पे आप यूज़ कर सकते हो फॉर दी. अच्छा, लेट मी टेल यू वन एग्जाम्पल, गुड एग्जाम्पल. Have you ever seen कि government used to distribute laptop and scooty for the बेटी, for promotion of बेटी पढ़ाओ, बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ. Have you ever listened to this? मैंने ये सुना. ठीक है. Those who have like just passed from their 10th board and 12th board and they scored more than 85 or 90 like that. So they used to distribute to those girls only. And the real motive is just to promote education definitely among the women. And you know what, काफ़ी women को, ताकि बच्चे को पढ़ाया भी जाए और बचाया भी जाए. ओके मैम, when come MSME Act? हे भगवान, आप ना एक बार ये पूरा पढ़ो, मैं बताती हूँ आपको, प्रॉपरली बताती हूँ. अभी तो आप ही बोल रहे थे ना हिंदी में बोलने के लिए. ओके, लिसन टू मी. ओके, सो विद दैट नेशनल बोर्ड वॉज फॉर्म. ठीक है. एंड ये इतना पुराना एक्ट नहीं है. दिस वॉज कम इन 2006. ठीक है. विद दैट देयर वर सो मेनी थिंग्स विच वर कंक्लूडेड एंड आई विल से कि देवर अमेंडमेंट वॉज मेड. ठीक है. जैसे कि ड्यूरिंग द कोरोना वी कैन सी देयर वाज सम emergency credit line or the guarantee which was given to the small, micro, small, medium enterprises. Okay, so hope so clear हो जाएगा. Actually सौरभ, this is the you know ज़्यादा मैं डीप में नहीं पढ़ा सकती क्योंकि we have just the limit time. Okay, so मैं सिर्फ ऊपर से पढ़ा रही हूँ. ठीक है. और अगर आपको लेक्चर देखनी है, मैं ऑलरेडी बना चुकी हूँ, आप उसमें भी देख सकते हो, है ना, कोई और भी हो तो. ठीक है. वो मैंने थोड़ा डिटेलिंग में बना रखा है. ये मैंने बहुत मतलब ऐसा होता है ना, बस अपन रिवीजन करें, है ना, क्योंकि एग्ज़ाम में थोड़ा सा अपने को पॉलिश वर्जन चाहिए होता है, इस वजह से मैं लेक्चर बना रही हूँ. ठीक है. ओके. So yes, to review the policies, with that to give the advices to the government कि वो पैसे कहाँ खर्च कर सकते हैं, and to coordinate with other ministers, and with that to enhance the competition in the market. Okay, this is the major, मैं बोल रही हूँ वही चीज़ है. डोमेस्टिक कॉम्पिटिशन एक्ट में भी यही बहुत सारी आपको कॉमन पॉइंट्स मिलेंगे, यहाँ पे भी आपको बहुत सारे कॉमन पॉइंट्स मिलेंगे. ओके, लेट्स गो फॉर, देयर इज अ चेंज इन गाइस, द रिवाइज्ड चेंज इन द क्राइटेरिया ऑफ द क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ MSME. Please open my PDF. I have shared the questions for this section 3rd. ठीक है, which you can see. ये वाला देख सकते हो ना आप, ये वाला आप यहाँ से देखिएगा, पेज नंबर 7 में you can find this. Okay, so there are the criteria which is revised. For the micro it is 2.5 now. ठीक है. एंड फॉर द स्मॉल इट इज़ 25 करोड़. दिस इज़ द इन्वेस्टमेंट इन प्लांट एंड इन मशीनरी. ओके. एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइज में 1 to 5 करोड़. एंड व्हाट अबाउट द एनुअल टर्नओवर, इट्स अप टू 10 करोड़. एंड फॉर द स्मॉल इट्स अप टू 100 करोड़. एंड फॉर अप टू मीडियम इट्स अप टू 500 करोड़. सो MCQ में आ सकता है बिकॉज इट्स चेंज नाउ. अगेन आई एम गोइंग टू टेल यू द माइक्रो, द स्मॉल एंड द मीडियम, एंड हियर द इन्वेस्टमेंट इन प्लांट एंड मशीनरी इज हियर द एनुअल. लेट्स टॉक up to 25 crore, then 2.5, 25, and then 1 to 5. Here 10, 100 and 500 crore. So you have to remember this because guys, it's been changed now. Okay, let's go for the other point. Okay, वेयर द रोल ऑफ MSME क्या क्या हो सकता है, टू प्रमोट, सेम चीज़ वही चीज़ें बोली जा रहे हैं, टू प्रमोट द ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट, टू प्रमोट द एम्प्लॉयमेंट, ओके, एंड विद दैट एसेंशियल रोल एंड द गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो ट्राई टू ब्रिंग द टेक्नोलॉजीज इन आवर इकोनॉमी, ओके, स्पेशली फॉर द बैकवर्ड एरियाज. दे यूज टू ओपन द इंस्टीट्यूट इन बैकवर्ड एरियाज और टू just to attract people, especially the female gender, so that they should also have some livelihood. ओके, एंड द फीचर्स यही है, असिस्टेंट प्रोवाइड कराते हैं, दे हेल्प इन सपोर्ट ऑन डेवलपमेंट, विद दैट द अपग्रेडेशन ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, मॉडर्नाइजेशन, एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी लेके आते हैं, प्रोवाइड क्रेडिट फैसिलिटी लेके आते हैं, ठीक है. एंड व्हाट आर द मेजर्स, अच्छा, विद दैट दे ऑल्सो ट्राई टू गिव द हायर परचेज या फिर लीजिंग के बेस पे हो सकता है, ठीक है. और विद दिस वन मोर थिंग, क्रेडिट तो फैसिलिटी कराते ही कराते हैं वो लोग, ओके, और एडिशनल वर्किंग कैपिटल प्रोवाइड करा सकते हैं, ओके. I'm going to tell you the page number. Next is going to be the 9th page, guys. ECLGS, which is Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. इसको आए बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं हुआ, ये आया था 2020 में, एंड दिस में कम इन एग्ज़ाम एंड ड्यूरिंग द कोरोना टाइम की बात है ये, ठीक है. सो ECLGL फुल फॉर्म इज Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme. The government introduced this scheme in 2020 during the lockdown to mitigate the stress caused by the COVID pandemic on the several sector across the country, and as a part of 20 crore compensation package was given to for the financial aid for whom, for the micro, small and medium enterprises, okay, for the company, for what, the economic distress से बचने के लिए. But now I guess it was till the 31st 10 2020, so it's removed now, but question MCQ में आ सकता है the full form and maybe like what is going to be the time period, okay, time period फिर भी कम आएगा, but MCQ आ सकता है full form के बेस में, okay. The role of NSIC is going to be machinery, like please read on guys, page number is going to be 10, to provide machine hire purchase to whom, to the small scale industry, to provide equipment for leasing purpose, assist करना export करने के लिए, ठीक है, to distribute raw material, to facilitate the raw material at the right place, okay, with that technology implementation, modernization, training different people, trying to give proper training to them, to set up small scale industry, to provide advisory, to serve technology, to undergrade the construction of industrial estate. Yes, there is one another point, the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program, and this may come in form of MCQ, guys. Actually new criteria I have given to 2.5, ठीक है, please go to the page guys. Actually it's going to be the important one, and you have asked me again 2.5 crore for the micro investment in plant and machinery, 25 crore for the small enterprise, for the medium is going to be 1 to 5 crore. These are the investment in plant and machinery, and for the annual turnover for the micro it's going to be 10 crore, for the small enterprise it's going to be 100 crore, and for medium enterprise is going to be 500 crore. Yes, it's important, criteria change हुआ है, and you will get all of things in my telegram channel, okay, and this is in the question PDF. हाँ मैं बताती हूँ आपको, रुको. एक्चुअली ये मुझे इसका नहीं पता, मैं बताऊँ नवरत्ना वाला मुझे नहीं पता, ट्रस्ट मी, बट दिस क्राइटेरिया इज चेंज एंड दिस मे कम इन फॉर्म ऑफ MCQ, ठीक है, ओके. सो लेट्स गो फॉर द NSIC विच आई हैव completed, and the Prime Minister Employment Generation Program may come in form of MCQ. इससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगा, which is related to खादी and village and all, ठीक है, ओके. डेफिनेटली if they are going to ask you objective, मैं बताऊँ इससे ज़्यादा इतना क्वेश्चन नहीं आता. क्वेश्चन जो आ सकता है जो कि पिछले साल आया है मैं वो आपको बता दूंगी. टू जनरेट द अपॉर्चुनिटी वगैरह है, वही सारी चीज़ें हैं जो कि अपन इतने टाइम से पढ़ते आ रहे हैं, ओके. विद that I am going to tell you the important one. This is all about this part guys. You have to read and you have to go through some of the questions of this part, which is, let me open the scanner first, ठीक है. With that I'm going to tell you the important one, okay. 13.393 as per the 24 December scanner. So yes, please revise the updated one, because अपडेट नहीं करोगे आप तो गाइस मैं ऑलरेडी पढ़ा चुकी हूँ, ठीक है मैम। कंपटीशन आया किसको रिप्लेस करता था, मैं ऑलरेडी पढ़ा चुकी हूँ आपको, क्यों आया मैं पढ़ा चुकी हूँ। गाइस लिसन टू मी, अगर आपको नहीं पढ़ना ना, इट्स माई रिक्वेस्ट, प्लीज़ डोंट ज्वाइन दिस क्लास, ठीक है, बिकॉज देर आर सो मेनी अदर स्टूडेंट ऑन देयर रिक्वेस्ट आई एम डूइंग दिस लाइव क्लासेस, अदरवाइज आई वोंट, ठीक है। अगर आपको नहीं पढ़ना तो प्लीज़ यू कैन लीव द क्लास। आप ये अंटे शंटे क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो, आपको पता है मैं ऑलरेडी कवर करा चुकी हूँ, इससे पहले जस्ट मैंने कॉम्पिटिशन कमीशन एक्ट मैंने पढ़ाया और मैंने यही सारी चीज़ें दोहराई है कि रिप्लेस क्यों हुआ था, कौन सा कॉम्पिटिशन कौन सा एक्ट ने रिप्लेस किया था, है ना, किसको रिप्लेस किया था। सो वाई आर यू आस्किंग यू द सेम क्वेश्चन गाइज, है ना। प्लीज़ डोंट डिस्टर्ब मी नाउ, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू एंटरटेन यू, और on your reply I'm not going to take live class। आपकी वजह से बाकी लोगों का नुकसान हो रहा है, please don't this। Okay, so the question was this guys कि where the buyer was unable to pay the amount in some specified time within the issuers of invoice। Okay, let's take what is going to be the time limit। Okay, first of all, so you have to understand this ki what is going to be the consequences if the buyer is unable to make a payment within that time period। So what is going to be here within, you have to write the days, within how much days the payment should be made to the supplier, okay, by the buyers, and what is going to be the consequences। So within 45 days the buyer have to give the payment, have to make a payment to the supplier, okay, first thing। Okay, what if the buyer is unable to make the payment? In that case there are some cases where the interest will be charged on compound interest basis, and the rate is going to be the thrice of the amount which is determined by the Reserve Bank of India। Okay, हाँ जी। And the second part, the disallowance of the expenses are going to be happen under the Income Tax Act। Okay, so this was the point guys which we have already discussed, and this was important part, and my request to you all is guys, अगर आपको नहीं पढ़ना please don't join this class। आपकी वजह से बाकी बच्चे डिस्टर्ब हो सकते हैं, एंड आपके काफ़ी बच्चों की वजह से आज की क्लास सही में बहुत बेकार गई है, मेरे तरफ से तो बेकार गई है। एंड मोस्ट ऑफ यू ऑल नो कि ये क्लास सिर्फ और सिर्फ इमरजेंसी के बेसिस में ही हुई है, और ऑल ऑफ द नोट्स इज़ एक्चुअली प्रोवाइडेड बाय मी इन माई टेलीग्राम चैनल। एंड माई रिक्वेस्ट, इफ़ you don't want to study, you just want to entertain, please leave this class। मैं already सारे topic पढ़ा चुकी हूँ। Okay, so you can, if you want to see in detail you can go there, ठीक है। आपकी वजह से फालतू किसी और का टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा है, ये बात बहुत गलत बात है, trust me, ठीक है। So that's it guys, this was main point which I have already discussed। There are some more questions related to this chapter, please go for it। Okay, and we'll meet in our next video, maybe tomorrow, maybe, because I have some official work to be done, ठीक है। And please try, मुझे फालतू लोग नहीं चाहिए, because I'm not going to entertain any person guys, I have no more time, ठीक है। And I'm just doing for some people, okay, and आपकी वजह से वो चीज़ ख़राब होगी, वो चीज़ बहुत गलत बात है। ओके, इट्स माई रिक्वेस्ट, इफ़ यू डोंट वांट टू एंटर प्लीज़ डोंट एंटर इनटू माई लाइव क्लास, मुझे नहीं चाहिए आंटी शंट लोग। ओके, विल मीट इन माई नेक्स्ट क्लास गाइज, बाय।